up, the Syrian refugee relief team continues to conduct home visitations in Turkey. We meet two winners of this year's 10 Outstanding Young Persons Award and see how they dedicate themselves to science. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Helen. Liao. Thank you for joining us. As member of the Syrian refugee relief team conduct home visitation in Sultan Gazi of Istanbul, they continue to discover that each refugee family has its own share of tragedy and plight, but these visits couldn't have been carried out smoothly without the help of translation volunteers. Here's more.
Upon seeing the visiting慈济volunteers, Syrian refugee Ma Yan quickly brings out the supplies she received in a慈济distribution and thanks the volunteers.
She said all these things are very necessary.
Shukran, 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 shukran.
The volunteers are here to understand Ma Yan's life in Istanbul and see how they may be able to offer further assistance to her family. Ma Yan's two toddlers seem to suffer developmental delays, which has been a worry for her and her husband.
I don't know how to cure my children. We can only take it one step at a time.
In another home, Najila Medarati has 8 children. Half of them remain behind in Syria, while half of them have escaped to Turkey. Life on the run has not given Najila means to deal with her 3-year-old granddaughter's eye problem.
She is sick and she is afraid.
Yeah,
His eyes need surgery.
Why his eye?
Yeah, we got to.
他有斗鸡眼，叫解说要开刀。
The volunteers try to break the ice with the shy girl, but there is more that they want to do.
But please let her know that we are here. Please let her know that Zuji are here. So we wish that we can
Help them.
We wish we can.
The translating volunteer Arreis used to be an instructor in a public college back in Syria. Like the rest of her countrymen, she escaped carrying nothing with her.
As you know, all of us leave our home, and everything we have it, we leave it with just with our dress. We go out. Yes.
Fortunately, after arriving in Turkey, both Arreis and her husband have found a teaching job, and thus she now wants to volunteer to reciprocate.
I'm so happy, of course. If I do anything to help people, to show people, to see people happy, we are ready.
Arreis has 3 children herself. As she goes on home visitation with the慈济volunteers, sometimes she has to bring along her 2-month-old son, but she is just glad to be able to help those in need.
To assist Syrian refugees in Ramtha, Jordan, local慈济volunteers have been holding distributions on a monthly basis, offering financial aid and baby formulas. Before we join the volunteers' most recent distribution, however, we take a look at how慈济volunteers reach out to Syrian refugee families in need of medical assistance. Without the money to pay for a life-saving procedure, many Syrian refugee families in need of medical assistance are forced to struggle. With the help of the慈济Jordan chapter, this little boy finally has the means to undergo a surgery to install an artificial stoma, which will allow for the removal of feces from his body. To do what they can to help Syrian refugees in Jordan, local慈济volunteers also hold distributions on a monthly basis, providing financial aid and the infant formulas. Upon discovering that the慈济volunteers had given her an extra envelope filled with cash, despite living in hardship, this woman quickly returned the envelope to the volunteers so that another family can receive the much-needed help. The large-scale free clinic organized by the慈济Philippines chapter in conjunction with Tima Singapore in Tacloban saw a large turnout of residents who came to see medical care for their long-term health problems. Among them were residents from Ormoc and Palo who hoped that Tima doctors would be the answer to their prayers as well as their lingering illnesses which have tormented them for so long.
Judging from the large crowd and long queues at the free clinic venue, it is evident that residents of Tacloban have long anticipated慈济and team of volunteers' arrival.
The rash on her legs appeared in aftermath of Typhoon Haiyan. It's been like that for 2 years.
Jesse Liao came all the way from Palo to Tacloban with his daughter to seek treatment for the rash that has covered his daughter's legs for 2 years.
The doctors gave me some medicine to apply on her 3 times a day for the next 3 weeks.
Meanwhile, Archer Bada and his wife left their home in Ormoc at 4 a.m. to attend Tzuji's free clinic.
When Tzuji volunteers came to conduct a rice distribution in Ormoc in September, I asked if they could please help my husband. They then told me that they will be holding a free clinic in Tacloban in October. Since that day, I've been praying that we can come here. Today, my prayers have been answered.
5 years ago, a work-related injury left Bada with third-degree burns to 40% of his body. Unable to afford the cost of further treatment, Bada left his injury untreated, which has caused the muscles in his left leg to contract, making it difficult for him to walk.
It has been 5 years and the new layer of skin that regenerated over his burn is very tight. We managed to operate on him and now he is able to stand up straight. I can finally go back to living a normal life like before. I miss the days when I had a job. Now I can go back to work and give my children a better life.
Under the skillful hands of doctors, Bada underwent a successful surgery and is now ready to embrace the future with confidence and optimism.
Every year, Tzuji volunteers come together in China to help the poor and elderly with an annual winter aid distribution. As volunteers in Fujian province currently prepare for the aid distribution at year's end, their counterparts in Quanzhou hurry to finish home visitations ahead of the distribution so as to better understand their aid recipients' needs. Here's more.
With the help of the local village cadre, Tzuji volunteers paid visits to the 32 villages located within Quanzhou's Anhai town.
Be positive. The days pass regardless, so stay happy.
This will be the 4th year that Tzuji has carried out winter aid distributions in Anhai. The volunteers' yearly visits are now eagerly looked forward by the area's elderly. 34-year-old Chen Xiuleng is mute and raises her son alone. Volunteers offered spiritual consolation and some loving advice during their visit.
You need to take care of yourself. Eat more. Don't be so hard on yourself.
We offer them help and a lot of that is about giving them self-confidence. This is very important. With self-confidence, whatever they do will be filled with more energy and enthusiasm.
Through these visits, the volunteers get to know what sorts of aid will be the most valuable as they help residents prepare for the cold months ahead.
In Taiwan, Tzuji volunteers and Tzu in Xizhi, New Taipei City, recently visited their local nursing home, bring warmth and laughter to senior residents. Meanwhile, Tzuji volunteers in Keelung traveled to Liao borough of Anle district to encourage elderly residents to get their flu shot. As temperature drops in Taiwan, Tzuji volunteers in Keelung arrived at Liao borough of Anle district to invite senior residents to get their flu shot.
We want to make sure these elderly residents don't feel so lonely. With the support of Tzuji volunteers, community residents and all officers volunteer. These seniors won't feel that they are living life without a purpose.
Give me five! Yeah! With Tzuji volunteers by her side, 92-year-old Chen Yuejiao breaks into song.
These seniors are very happy because they get to interact with their neighbors and Tzuji volunteers. Although we didn't do much other than to be with them, they're still very happy. Seeing their smiles make me extremely happy.
The慈济volunteers' presence was also seen at the Cuibo Nursing Home in Xizhi, New Taipei City.慈济volunteer Pan Shoujing, who has been visiting the nursing home on a monthly basis, has already formed a family-like bond with the residents here.
I always come here to dance and sing with them. Their smiles make me feel that my dedication has been worthwhile.
Young volunteers also seize the opportunity to chat with the seniors and give them a massage.
I always come here to volunteer alongside my mother. When I come here, I give the seniors a massage. Seeing them happy makes me even happier.
By visiting nursing homes, these youngsters not only bring laughter to seniors, but also experience firsthand the joys of giving. Born in 1978, He Xuanqing is currently a researcher at the National Museum of Marine Biology and Aquarium in Pingdong, Taiwan. Originally confused about his direction in life, he came to realize that he enjoys researching inside a museum and thus went back to school for a doctorate degree in the field of taxonomy. Thanks to his discovery of 3 new species, the son of a farmer in Jiayi has appeared many times in scientific journals around the world, bringing glory to not only his family but his country as well. He also recently became a recipient of the 10 Outstanding Young Persons of Taiwan Award.
这是刺尾雕的一种，好，对，他们上来了。我发表的
This new species I discovered is the 20th one of this genus of breens. The last discovery was at least more than a decade ago. Before I knew this was what I wanted to do, I actually was confused about my future. I thought that perhaps I did work in the music industry, because that was what I studied. Later, I realized that I actually enjoyed working in a museum and doing my own research. This prompted me to go back to school and get a doctorate degree. Okay, here's our specimen collection. Since the museum was built, we have been building up our collection. Over the past 5 to 10 years, it has gotten much bigger. Here's an example. In this genus alone, we probably have about 300 to 400 specimens. And out of these specimens, we have discovered 2 new species. These specimens can be stored for hundreds of years. During this period, many people can come and study them. So we never know that if the one we preserve today will someday become very important. Perhaps a scientist wants to catalog this genus of animal. Maybe a decade or 2 later, he or she can either borrow these specimens from us or come here in person. I collected this one when I went to the North Pole 4 years ago. It's a type of sponge, and in it we found some biologically active substances. I went around the world twice to conduct my research. There is so much evidence that is telling us that extinctions are happening all around us. The only thing that you can do is to preserve these species in a bottle and store them in a museum. Only then will you be able to come back and study them later. Otherwise, you won't even have that chance. Perhaps only through illustrations and pictures can we study them then. I can tell you one thing for sure, that in 20 years from now, the only way our children and future generations can see these animals will be through looking through these jars, because they will have been long extinct in the world. This is one of the fish I researched. It's swimming by again. Animals move around. Through cataloging them, you know where their names come from and where their habitat is. My biggest reward is that I learn new things every day. When I go to the fish market and I see something I don't recognize, I get a kick when I can identify it after reading through books and articles. And as I do this, I start to discover new species quicker and quicker, as I have become very experienced in this field. When I manage to bring back a new specimen of a new species, the joy I feel is indescribable. Though I do make mistakes from time to time, if you don't try and invest your effort on something, you will never achieve anything.
33-year-old Yang Zhenda, who is an associate professor at Chenggang University, has suffered from macular degeneration since he was little. In spite of his poor vision, Yang dedicates himself to the research of the relationship between concentration and decision-making. A winner of this year's 10 Outstanding Young Persons of Taiwan Award, Yang hopes his story can inspire young people to develop more passion for psychology-related research.
"我们今天就接续上个礼拜我们提到大脑与行为。在做实验的时候，你就像是
In doing experiments, you're like a detective searching for the truth.
只有在中间有光线的时候，它会敏感。你要不
You have to stay curious and use logic to comprehend some abstract ideas. After such training, I could no longer leave cognitive psychology.
The carrier molecule that will be used depends on what the doctor is looking for.
I finished my PhD degree and have stayed till now.
他现在让受试者去看一些影片，然后去测量他大脑的活动。我大的东西可以看，但是精细的东西就
I can see big objects, but not the small ones. When I was little, I was very depressed about my poor vision. But seeing how my parents had a tough time, I did not have the right to get depressed.
没有什么沮丧的权利。
My research is on the relationship between concentration and cognitive decisions.
看这些注意力的操弄怎么去影响到记忆。
We look at how concentration affects the process of cognitive decision making. I use new research techniques such as measuring eye movements and magnetic resonance imaging.
要的磁共振造影的技术。
好，这部分请你同时注意颜色与质地两种特征。
所以这边的正确率还可以吗？质地可以最多到几个？
质地其实3个就可能在上去。
如果未来要有一个人工智慧
If we use artificial intelligence to help humans in decision making, we can use this model to optimize artificial intelligence.
去帮人工智慧做最佳化。那我们这个实验主要是看注意力跟记忆之间的关系，所以我们会去操弄它去注意某一个物体的某一个特征。我觉得肯定的应该是我们在做研究求真的一个过程。
I think we should recognize the process of searching for the truth. I hope young people can look at my story and develop more passion for psychology or other academic research.
如果说我们之前这样分配的话，我们到底要给它看成是4个 condition， 还是看成是3个？
In life, we need positive thinking. Do not let physical defects or anything get you down. Just change your mindset and challenge yourself at all times. Then you will have a chance to enjoy a very good future.
On October 25th, Tzu Chi volunteers in DaAi, Taiwan, had a New Shoe Scholarship Award ceremony at the local Tzu Chi Liaison Office, benefiting a total of 194 students. Prior to the Tzu Chi New Shoe Scholarship Award ceremony, volunteers in DaAi, Taiwan, help each recipient brush up. Respectfully receiving an award certificate from a special guest is Chen Qiaoting, who is receiving recognition from Tzu Chi for the second time. To fulfill her filial duty every day, Chen gives her grandmother a massage.
I'll give my scholarship money to my mother because she works really hard to support our family and to care for my stroke-stricken grandmother.
Among the New Shoe Scholarship recipients is Hong Jingshou, whose mother lost her smile following her husband's passing 4 years ago. Thankfully, Tzu Chi volunteers' love and care have helped Jingshou's mother regain her smile.
I have seen a complete change in my mother. She's no longer depressed and smiles a lot more too. I want to thank everyone for your assistance. The love and care we have received makes us believe that we're not alone.
With Tzu Chi scholarships in hand, these 194 students can now continue their schooling free from worries because they know that the Tzu Chi volunteers are by their side. In Malaysia, Tzu Chi Seremban Liaison Office recently held 7 scholarship award ceremonies at 5 different locations, helping a total of 859 students. Upon receiving the scholarships, many students vowed to study hard and help other people in need to reciprocate the help they have received.
Kami harap murid-murid yang dapat beasiswa ini belajar dengan bersungguh-sungguh.
Tzu Chi Seremban Liaison Office recently held 7 scholarship award ceremonies, benefiting 859 students.
The most obvious improvement is finishing their homework on time. In the beginning, they did not do their homework, now they do.
The scholarships have lessened the financial burdens on the students' families.
I cannot pay for my tuition and help my parents. My mother does not work, only my father works. It is tough for my father.
I can now pay for her and her siblings' tuition, in addition to buying books for her.
I will help other people when I grow up.
Xiao Pei-shi helps her mother with household chores and has been winning scholarship awards in the category of moral character for 4 years.
My mother works hard. She cleans in the morning and babysits in the evenings. She keeps working.
She said she will study hard. I'm happy to see her study hard.
At the end of the award ceremonies, students and parents also make a donation, paying their love forward to other less fortunate.
The Tzu Chi Foundation has been promoting a healthier lifestyle in indigenous community by asking residents in Xingshe village at Fongbing Township in Hualien County to drink tea instead of alcohol. To help spread the message, the residents recently formed their own tea club.
Each holding a cup of hot tea, the residents of Xingshe are celebrating the opening of their community tea club.
He stopped drinking alcohol and drinks green tea instead, and thus has become very healthy. Let's make Xinse a health-conscious village without alcohol.
The Tzu Chi Foundation has been promoting a healthier lifestyle by asking residents to replace alcohol with tea in remote indigenous communities.
What he said is important to us. We cannot become immobile with age. We want longevity with good health, right?
To improve the health and life quality of residents in remote areas, Tzu Chi volunteers will continue their efforts to ask residents to stay away from alcohol.
We stay in Taiwan at the end of the show, where students and faculty of the elementary division of Tzu Chi Senior High School affiliated with Tzu Chi University and their family members held a cleanup event at Chiu-Mao Park in Tongxiao Township. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.